So we got in there long before daylight, got set up, and as soon as it started to break, I started calling. Now, the scenario here with this ground is obviously I've never been on it before, but from looking at the aerials, driving around the property and walking it a few days before this, there wasn't much food around. There wasn't a lot of ag fields around this. I mean, it was kind of, the closest ag was almost a mile away. So I thought, if we can set up on this creek bottom, which is the natural crossing through this property, hopefully we can catch a buck, maybe cruising this one day. Wind is right, it's 1st of November, it's cold, all conditions are right. It's prime pre-rut time.
We've got an unbelievable morning. Dead calm, 27 degrees, heavy frost. There are big, giant deer in this area. Let's see if we can get one in front of us this morning.
So before I did another rattling sequence, I pulled out the extinguisher and I gave 5 or 6 soft grunts. And I made sure that I turned around in the tree, got that sound going in all directions. And this, again, plays out perfectly in this scenario of why you want to do this. And as soon as I turn around 30 yards from me, this ultra mature buck is stepping out of the creek and he's coming right at us on a beeline.
Creek crossing right here at the camera, right here at the camera. You good? Let him come alive, he's going to.
So 2 things happened to get me to this point where I've got this big buck coming in on me now. Number 1, I'm cold calling. Every 20 minutes, I've gone over 2 hours in the stand on this particular morning without seeing a deer, and every 20 minutes I'm still hitting the black rack and I'm still hitting the extinguisher. The other thing, and probably most important with cold calling, is before I do that next rattling sequence with the black rack, 20 minutes has gone by, I don't just grab the black rack and get right back into it. I'm going to hit the extinguisher specifically for any bucks that might have come into that original call, say 20 minutes sooner, but have stalled out on me. So that's why I want to be soft with them next calls. That's why I hit the extinguisher. Now, the beautiful thing, especially remember, it's first week in November when I'm doing this. I've created the illusion, hopefully at this point with the black rack, of 2 big mature bucks fighting over a doe. I want to seal that deal now by reaching out with this call to any buck that might have come in and hung up. I'm going to create a dominant or a mature buck sound. I'm going to slide that monoslide all the way down here. And I'm going to give them real short, strong, firm, mature buck grunts, something like this. And the other thing I'm doing, you'll see, not only am I turning around in my stand to make sure that call gets out, but the beautiful thing about this call is I can direct the sound by just turning. So I get that sound going out in every direction. I still have not seen the animal. I don't even know to this point that there's an animal around, but I want to make sure I'm covering all my bases. And whatever direction that animal might have come in from, I want to make sure I hit it with the call.
Creek crossing right here at the camera, right here at the camera. You good? Let him come alive, he's going to. No. Hurry up. Tell me when you're good. Tell me when you're good. It's a slob. That's a pig. I'd rattled a half hour ago. I pulled this out, grunted about 5-6 times, put it in my pocket, and it wasn't 30 seconds. And I heard a deer walking across the creek right here. He did exactly what we set this stand up for. 20 yards, 18 yards.
I think one of the lessons I learned from this hunt, and one of the things that you can see as you're watching it, this is a ridiculously mature whitetail. This buck weighs 304 pounds when we weigh him, put him on a scale the next day, 28 hours after he's been field dressed and hung up overnight. Fully mature, and yet this buck was completely convinced, without a shadow of a doubt, that the scenario I had created with the black rack and the extinguisher was 100% real. That's obviously the goal behind using products that create those sounds. And when you learn how to dictate and create those scenarios, there's no limit on the type of buck that can respond to it. If I can get a buck that's probably, I'm guessing this buck 7, 8, maybe even older than that. Fully mature buck, has all of his senses on high alert, knows he's played the game and he's won it time and time and time again. But on this particular morning, the calling scenario that I created with the Illusion products was completely real to him. And when you can do that, when you can full a mature whitetail like that, your possibilities are really endless when you head to the woods.